In this video we look at EcoFlow, the EcoFlow River Pro and the EcoFlow Delta, and what I'm really interested in is this new panel from EcoFlow, which they tell me is 100% waterproof, which will be a fantastic option for using on boats and yachts and various other vessels out at sea. So I'm going to give this a really thorough test, and we'll have a good look at these two as well. But it's fair to say that if you search on YouTube at all the reviews of EcoFlow, I struggle to find anything negative that people are saying about them. EcoFlow have got a summer sale from the 17th of June to the 13th of July, both on Amazon and on their official website, and there's a discount code below, One Man and His Whippet, so check out in the description of this video for more information about the sale. But let's have a look how they fare with us. I've been sent this new solar panel from EcoFlow. It's a 160 watts portable folding panel, and they tell me it's waterproof. So what better way to test it than dip it in one of the North Yorkshire rivers and take it for a swim. The IP rating for this is 67. The highest water rating you can get is an 8. So at number 7, that actually means this can be fully submerged in water but not any depth. So that's the difference between the two ratings. So this should really withstand this soaking here and withstand just being out on a camper van or on a boat or something like that, just being splashed or sprayed with water. But it will not stand a great depth. Interested to see how this solar panel stands up in wet conditions, and with its rating of being 100% waterproof, it'll be really useful for using on yachts and boats. I do a lot of sailing. If you see my Instagram posts over the last couple of months, I've been away sailing around Scotland. That's where these videos was taken. But I previously used to be the coxswain of a lifeboat as well, and many of the call outs we used to get was down to electrical problems. So to have these power packs on vessels and have a waterproof, 100% waterproof solar panel would be a fantastic addition. Well, there it is after it's been for a swim. And as you can see, it's not the best day to use a solar panel. I just want to test it straight after it comes out of the water, and I'll test it again later on when it dries out. But it looks to be completely waterproof and dry. Be interested in time to tell if these are stainless, see if these rust. So far so good. Let's see if it still works after its swim. The solar panel comes with the standard connectors, so you can fasten it to any rig of solar. So you could connect it to an MPPT or any other solar generator unit. I'm using the EcoFlow River Pro. That's the EcoFlow River Pro to test it, and they sent me this as well. And the EcoFlow River Pro has a socket on the side here, and this lead comes with it, which just fastens to the standard connectors there. But you can obviously put extension leads on it if you need to. So even with that little bit of sun out there, it's very cloudy and the panel is still wet. It's actually spitting with rain out there, so it's not the best time to test a solar panel, but it's still putting into this 25 watts, which is quite good considering. I mean, it proves that it is waterproof from that test I've done. I probably had it in that water for about 10-15 minutes in total to get the different camera shots. So it got a good soaking, and it's outside now, as I say, not in heavy rain but drizzling. So it looks like it is waterproof. Just switch my laptop on into the EcoFlow River Pro, and we've got 33 watts input and around 40-42 watts output to run this. Oh, it's just dropped down now, it started up. So the through charging on this unit, and from that solar panel there's enough power in these conditions to run this laptop. It's pretty good. Let's have a bit more of a look at the EcoFlow River Pro. So on the side of the unit is all the inputs. So solar or car charger, so you can charge it from your 12 volts from your car. It's got an overload reset and the mains charging lead as well. So it's just the lead, you don't get a big black box to plug in. There's a reset there if you overload it, and that there is to put an earth-in lead on, which is common on petrol generators, but you don't get many generators that do this. So you can earth this to the chassis, or you can actually put an earthing spike into the ground. With it being mains power, it just makes it slightly safer. And it uses this connector, as I say, for the solar panels, which comes with an adapter to your standard connectors for solar panels, as we've just seen, and it also uses it for the car charging unit. This is the mains lead you get with it. It's like what you have with the kettle, just 3 pins, so there's no charging block, it's just this. The actual charging unit is actually inside the power bank, and then this is the lead that you get, which fits into there, as I just said, with the standard cigarette plug on to go into the socket in your car. So as you're driving along, you can charge this up through this process as well. As the obligatory light. On-off button, and it's got a good display. It's one of the better displays, and you've seen these on quite a few units now. So it tells you how many hours it's going to last, the percentage of the charge that's in the actual unit. So it's got 29% left. The input, how much power is going in, so if we had solar on it, it'd show that, or the mains, or the 12 volt supply, and what's actually going out. So as I've been running my laptop off this unit here into that socket, it's been drawing it from there. And then you have these 2 small barrel connectors as well. And then you've got a fast charge, so you can use a USB fast charge through here, 2 USB A's and a USB-C, which is 100 watt. And there's an on-off button underneath. And then on this side is your 2 13 amp sockets with an on-off switch, and in here, this is quite interesting, you can actually plug in other battery banks. You can buy other battery units, so you can actually use this to link into other battery packs that come from EcoFlow, which is quite clever. The fan doesn't come on automatically when you plug these in, but it will come on when it's charging and reaches a certain temperature, and when it's drawing a lot of power through the AC side here. It's really good that they're positioned like this, so you can get your plugs in and the cables come out the side. Some of the older units from different manufacturers have them at the bottom, and you can't get your plugs in. You have to stand the actual full unit on its side. Nothing on the back, and a good strong angle on the top. Air vent on that side. The solar panel comes in this bag, which doubles up as a stand to stand the solar panel up. It's quite different to many of the other portable solar panels, and the way you use it is it stands up like so, and there's clips in here. It comes with these little clips, so you can actually fasten it to this, or you can fasten it onto the side of a van or onto the deck of a canopy of a boat. And with the panel being waterproof, that's going to be really useful for being used at sea and out in yachts and various other boats. Fast charging is plugged into the mains in the cottage, and it's running at 370 watts, and it's at 32%, and it says that we charged within an hour. Very impressive. This is just a quick bit of video to show how the panel actually stands up by itself by using the case, which is quite different. It's easy to do, and I suppose the more you do it, the easier it will get. This is about a week after we took this for a swim, and I'm pleased to say there's no evidence of any rust appearing on any of these clips. So they're obviously stainless or treated in some way, so they can cope with the water, which is really reassuring. And as you can probably hear, it's very windy out there today. We're going to give this another test, as it was thick cloud the last time we tried to test it out. Maybe it's very windy, but there it is back on the front of the van as it was before. And as I've got out the van now, we're covered in cloud again. But we'll leave it on there for a bit and see what best we can get out of it. But not the best conditions. I've got the panels plugged into the EcoFlow Delta this time. And we're pushing out about 55 watts, 55 watts. And it's currently at 22%, and it says here it'll take 17 hours to charge at that. Now that's a 160 watt solar panel, and if it wasn't thick cloud and it was good sun, a bright sun with clear skies, we should get somewhere around 140 to 150 watts of solar, which would obviously increase the power going in to reduce the amount of time it will need to charge. But the Delta, like the River Pro, if you're using the mains lead to charge it at home from mains power, it'll charge to 80% in an hour, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. When these first used to come out, when other models first come out, you used to be into like 5 or 6 hours to charge them. But this will top it up, even with just 50 odd watts of solar. And even if you're only using a proportion of the power, the solar will top it up as you're using it through the unit. To give you an indication of the power of the solar panel, the EcoFlow one is plugged into this, and it's producing about 41 watts. We've had it up to about 65 watts, depending when the cloud moves out of the way. But this here is the app from my van, and I have 300 watts of solar on the roof, and this is only producing 72 watts. So for a 160 watt panel, this is doing well in these conditions. I just literally haven't had a day where the sun's been right and I've been able to get out and film it. These are just two of the power units you can get from EcoFlow. They do a range in each model. So if you look at the Delta, they do a Delta Mini, they do a EcoFlow Delta, which is this one, the Delta Max, and then a Delta Max Pro. And basically it's the size and capacity of the inverters and the batteries in them. Likewise, the River range, you can buy a River Mini, a River Max, or a River Pro, and this is the River Pro one we've been testing here with the sheep in the background. The River Pro, as well as the Delta, has the world's fastest charging as well, according to their website. Fastest charging unit on the market, and it will charge from 0 to 80% within an hour and be fully charged in just 1.6 hours. Which is great if you want to charge this up, put it in your van or put it on your boat or take it somewhere. You're not waiting 4 or 5 hours as you have to with some of the older models from different other businesses and different suppliers. So there's certainly changed the game in relation to charging capacity, and what we're finding all the time is there's just improvements after improvements after improvements with these solar generators, and these are the latest ones that are out from EcoFlow. So what you're basically finding with the range of these, like some of the other companies, is that the bigger the unit, the more battery capacity there is, and the bigger the inverter and the more they can actually power. So if you look at their website, you'll be able to look at all the products you want to use, look what wattage they need, and look at the capacity of these units, and you can work out which one will be best for you. This is the app for the River Pro. The Delta, this particular Delta, I think is an older model, so this one doesn't have the app, but there are a number within the range that do have the app. It's easy to download. It uses the Wi-Fi connection to the unit, shows you how much power is in your battery, temperature of your battery, how much power you're using, shows how much input and how much output. And if you click onto the input, it'll show you how much power's been going in, and if you click onto the output, it'll show you how much power's been going out as well. And you can do things like switch on the light remotely, and you can switch on the 12 volt supply, and it'll show you what's been used from the USBs off the unit, which is really useful. So if you place this somewhere in your van where you can't get access to it, you're enabled to switch things on and off as part of the unit, which is really good. This one has on-off switch at the bottom and your DC connectors on here. You have 2 fast charge USBs, 2 standard USB-A's, a USB-C and a USB-C on that side as well, on-off button and the main on-off button for the unit. The displays are very similar, if not exactly the same. How long it'll charge. So this will tell you how long it'll take to charge with the current power going into it. So I've disconnected the solar at the moment, so there's nothing going in, but it also will show you how long something will last, so this varies. Top thing at the top here, top display, is the input, how much wattage is going in, how much wattage is coming out, and this is a percentage and a dial that shows you how much power you have in the unit. So this is currently got 23%. So if you was to plug something into this onto the AC or the DC or both and start to run some units from it, it would tell you here how long it would last, which is really helpful. So if you want to do something and you don't want to use all your power, you can manage it by looking at this actual unit to give you the indication of how long it will last using that power. Exactly the same on this one basically. Same connectors, mains power goes into here and it's just a lead, so you don't get the charging brick with it. And exactly the same here, and this is where your charger for your car charger or your solar panel plugs in, which is exactly the same lead and socket. 2 fans on the back of here to keep it cool when it's running hard. So 4 sockets on the back, and at the bottom is your DC cigarette outlet. And on the River Pro there's the 2 sockets on there. The River Pro has a clip on the side here which you can extend the battery capacity, so you can actually buy additional batteries from EcoFlow which you can plug into this, which will extend the battery capacity of the actual unit. Again, these are on the sideways round, which might look a bit odd, but it's a good way to have them, because if you plug your main lead in there and the lead comes out the side, you have some room to actually use it with the unit stood up. If there was the other way down, that one would interfere with that one, and if they were separated more, you wouldn't be able to get the bottom one in because the lead wouldn't fit. And some of the older designs from other companies used to have them the other way around, which was a bit of a pain really. So it's nice to see that the evolution has moved them to this configuration. In the description of the video will be all the links to EcoFlow for all their products, and they're having a sale in July as well, so all the information for the sale and the offers on the sale will be linked in the description below, and I'll put a quick slide in now to show you what some of that information is. Time to take them whippets out for a walk. Do you want to go out? Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Away out.